G'day guys, welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel. And I know it's a late one. I know it's a late Crystal Palace review, but I've had fucking issues with my fucking internet and everything. But no excuses, no excuses. I watched the game. Of course. I was on Northside's watch along. I was on Egal's reaction. And look, just want to give a big up to Football Capital. I want to give a big up to Warren for Warren's Team Talk. And if you could, like, share and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. You know, help out a gooner from down under who's kind of smiling right now because we've got ourselves 3 points. We started off the season better than what we did last season. You know what I mean? It was a bit of a joke. And now we've come in. We've got ourselves 3 points. And there are positives. There are negatives to this game. But you know what? We're going to look at both ends of the scale. You know what I mean? We're not going to we can't be completely negative. We can't be jumping for joy, but it's a good start. It's a start that we needed. You know what I mean? Some confidence to build from this and to move on to our next game. Now look, we shaped up in what looked like a 3-4-1-2. I was expecting us to shape up in a 3-4-1-2 because it's a good counter for a 4-3-3 or even a 4-2-3-1. Now, the way I saw this game starting off, I didn't expect us to press so high and press so hard. Now, Jesus in this game was fucking immense. Now, I know he didn't get a goal, but his pressing game, for fuck's sake, it's phenomenal. This guy is a fucking pest. This is what we wanted Alexander Lacazette to be. You know what I mean? A pest, a guy who can create a chance from nothing. And he does that, and he's done that. Martinelli's goal, Zinchenko. I mean, I saw that corner, guys, and I was like, what the fuck? This long ball, what the hell is this? It looked like a miss kick. I saw a big miss kick. But Zinchenko gets on the end of it, heads it back into the box, and Martinelli says, thank you very much. It's put on a platter for him. It's 1-0 Arsenal. And it's deservingly 1-0 Arsenal. I mean, for the first 25, maybe even 30 minutes, it was all Arsenal. But what I noticed was, mate, I don't know if it was a bit of laziness. I don't know if it was a bit of, I don't know if their heads had dropped. But we started to get lazy on the ball. We stopped doing the basics right. We started putting some long balls over, you know what I mean? Trying to jump the midfield, if you know what I'm saying. And we started to see a little bit of a Shambhala show. We were giving up possession to Crystal Palace. Now, Crystal Palace is no pushover. Now, since Patrick Vieira's come in, Crystal Palace is a team that you've got to kind of take seriously, especially when you're at Selhurst Park. That's a fucking tough place to fucking go. So we actually allowed Crystal Palace to get back into this game. Do you know what I mean? And it was only because maybe our heads dropped, maybe the focus wasn't right, a bit of Shambhala from last season, whatever it may be. We allowed Crystal Palace to slowly claw back, and you know what? Almost exposed us once or twice in the first half. Now, luckily they didn't score, and our boys held on. You know what I'm saying? But it was a little bit shaky going on to the into the final 15 minutes of the first half. I saw a few things that I wasn't happy with as well. Granit Xhaka hitting the deck. Granit Xhaka, ball is sort of onto his left foot. What can I say? Now, Xhaka in this game, it wasn't his worst game, but it was far from his best game. And the way I see it is if you're clear open to the goal, right? If you're open, or there's an opportunity to take a shot, what are you doing diving, mate? What are you doing diving? I can't handle a player who dives. It doesn't matter if it's an Arsenal player. It doesn't matter if it's a friggin' United player, a City player, or a Tottenham player. I hate a player who dives. And he got himself a yellow for diving. Fucking it was deserved too. That was an opportunity. That could have been a goal. Let's be honest. It landed onto his left. I'm maybe a little bit off balance, but to be perfectly honest, you take a fucking punt, son. Take a punt. Fuck the free kick, bro. Get in there, mate. Get in there. Now, second half. Look. Second half, once it kicked off, it just looked like Crystal Palace were throwing kitchen sink at us. We kind of sat back, allowed them to to take the game towards us, and we were giving them too much freedom on the ball. We weren't really, we weren't really offering much in attack. Bukayo Saka was doing a lot of work on the right-hand side, helping Ben White take care of Zaha. And look, a little bit of credit here is going to go to Ben White because he shut Zaha down. He did. Zaha was nowhere to be seen. It was only maybe one or two opportunities, and one of them where Saka had come back, and Ben White kind of lost his footing, and Saka's come in and taken the ball off Zaha, and Zaha's looking like, where the fuck did that come from? You know what I mean? Did a bit of a Harry fucking Houdini on you, bruh. You know what I mean? Coming from behind and say, thanks for that. Give me that, son. So we did clean up that right-hand side, but there were moments of Ben White's game where I saw him in the second half, where instead of him playing on the right, he somehow found himself on the left-hand side. That was a little bit worrying. He was on the left-hand side, lost the ball, and it actually opened up an opportunity for Crystal Palace. Luckily, they didn't take advantage of it, right? But at the same time, I think Ben White, just, you're a right back, stick to your position, mate. Stick to where you're supposed to be. Pick up your man, stay where you are. Keep it simple, mate. Do the basics right. But in this game, look, Ben White did not play his worst game. He didn't play his best game, but he didn't play his worst game. The one thing I'm going to take from this game, a few things I'll take from this game, is Saliba. Saliba in this game was a beast. Was he just proving something? Was he trying to tell the gaffer, hey, look at me, mate? Because my man of the match for this game, right, is going to be William Saliba. The way he defended in this game, his first real game for Arsenal, it was fucking beyond. He was the best out-and-out defender we had. He's better than Ben White. He was better than Gabriel. And to be honest, he was solid. It was a solid performance from William Saliba, and I hope to see more of this. I know it's his first game, so I'm not going to get too hyped, but it's very positive. You know what I mean? A up-and-coming young star, you know what I mean? To put in a performance like that, look, if we can see more of that throughout the season and he stays fit, I think we're all jumping for joy. You know what I mean? So, great performance from William Saliba. Another player that I think had a great game, would be, and I know it's a little bit how you're going now with the personal situation, would be Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey in this game was the midfield for Arsenal. And that's a fact. That is a fact. Thomas Partey in this game covered Ben White. Thomas Partey covered Xhaka. Thomas Partey was covering fucking, actually covered Gabriel as well. Thomas Partey played, honestly, he was, I don't think anyone noticed what Thomas Partey was doing in the midfield, but this guy was just an absolute beast in the midfield. And to be honest, without him, we would have really been in trouble. And now I keep looking at it and thinking, I hope this guy can stay fit. His work rate in this game was fucking beyond. I think every single player was spent by the end of it. Zinchenko was spent. Zinchenko made his debut for Arsenal. He didn't have a bad game. He actually had a pretty good game. He did get caught out once or twice. I think fatigue would have set in. The other thing was I started noticing him coming into the midfield, looked like he was trying to bypass Granit Xhaka. Xhaka at the same time, I think he was up to his silliness where, holding onto the ball for too long, slowing the game down in transition in a few moments where we could have actually taken advantage of Crystal Palace's defensive line being misshaped. And of course, Zinchenko trying to cut in and trying to speed the game up. This guy used to play for City. You know what I mean? He sees an opportunity, he's going to come in. He's not going to slow the game down. He's going to try and take advantage of the defensive line that's sort of, out of line. But at the same time, by I think the 68th minute, Zinchenko was spent. He was getting caught out on that left-hand side, and I think it was obvious. Now, Tierney came in, and I think Tierney had the last few minutes were phenomenal. Great to see that from Kieran Tierney. Hope he can stay fit. Hope he can bring that to us every time he steps onto the pitch. Now, Zinchenko and Tierney looks like a nice little problem to have, a nice dilemma to have on the left-hand side. Let's be honest, guys. We have a little bit of depth now. We have two types of left backs, which is what we wanted last season with Tavares. It just didn't work out, unfortunately. But we got two left backs in there, one more attack-focused, one more defensive-focused, and can go forward. It's a good problem to have when you've got one of them that's very injury-prone at the moment. A spade. Martin Odegaard in this game. You all will have seen the opportunity that Jesus created for himself. Now, that's something that I really like to see from Jesus. Jesus comes in, puts pressure onto the fucking defender, presses the living shit out of him, says, give me that, takes the ball away, runs into the box, and then crosses the ball inside the box, lays it onto a fucking plate. Lays it onto a plate for Odegaard. And this is what gets me about Odegaard. He doesn't rate his boot, but he's got a half-decent one. He should have just taken the shot. Mate, you got to buy a ticket. You got to buy a ticket, mate. So instead of taking a shot, he tries to lay it off and do something that Ozil would have done. And of course, the opportunity goes fucking begging. I think you could have seen the look on Jesus' face where he was just like, what the fuck, mate, are you thinking? So Odegaard in this game, it just looked like in this game, I think Odegaard, this is probably one of the worst games I've seen Odegaard play, right? He was virtually non-existent in this game. And there was a couple of passes that you would have seen after that missed opportunity that bypassed Odegaard completely. And what can you do? Eddie Nketiah comes in, makes the substitution. The number 14 comes in, And, of course, the last goal comes in from Bukayo Saka, which is a deflection anyway, so we could probably say it was an own goal. And we finish off the game 2-0. Now, look, in my opinion, yes, the game wasn't a complete fucking whitewash by Arsenal. We didn't go there and just take the game to them and completely fucking destroy Crystal Palace. But it's 3 points at the end of the day. Most teams at the start of this season, I'm looking at them, did not have a perfect start. You know, Man United didn't have a perfect start. Liverpool didn't have a perfect start. Tottenham actually went pretty well with Southampton. I think Chelsea had a hard time. So I'm looking at it and think to myself, now looking at other teams' games at the start of the season, this is a pretty decent result for Arsenal. What we can do from here is learn from our mistakes, do the basics right, and keep the pressure on. Not for 20 minutes and not for when we score the first goal and then sit back. No, score the first goal and then take the game to the opposing team, much like we were asking for last season. This is reminiscence of last season a little bit. But on the up and up, we had great performances from all over the pitch. There were a couple of players that are a bit wayward. I'm going to go into my player ratings real quick, right? I'm going to go into our player ratings. Aaron Ramsdale in goal. I didn't touch on the bullshit that he was doing when he was on the ball, but I'm going to do it now. There would have been about 2 or 3 occasions where instead of hoofing the ball up and clearing the ball, he's decided to play it and try and play it, from the back. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that you want to try and play it from the back and keep possession. I get you. I understand that. But sometimes you're under pressure. I don't want my goalkeeper to lose the ball. I don't mind if the midfielder or forward loses the ball, but not my goalkeeper. So sometimes, Aaron, you got to think about it. Your decision-making is a little bit, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit young, a little bit amateurish in this game. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to clear that ball out, take the pressure off the team, and move forward, right? The other thing is, what can I say? He did make maybe 2 or 3 big saves for us in this game. He did wipe our asses on a couple of those shots from Crystal Palace. So I think for this game, I think Aaron Ramsdale for this game gets a 7 out of 10. It would have been a little bit higher. It would have been higher if he didn't make those mistakes in possession, but I'll give him a 7. On the right-hand side, we had Ben White. Okay, so Ben White did shut down Zaha. And that's big up because that's a big attacking threat. And I rate Zaha. I think most of us rate Zaha. He's decent, you know. So I'll look at that performance from Ben White. I know he was being supported by Bukayo Saka, which is a given anyway. I did see a few things I didn't like from Ben White in regards to travelling to the wrong side of the pitch, yada, yada, yada. But in hindsight now, and looking at it a little bit further and thinking about it a bit more, I'm probably going to have to give Ben a 7 as well. I was going to bring him down to a 6, but the more I think about it, the more I look at his game, the more I address it, and the more I see what he done with Zaha, I'm going to have to give him a 7. I was a bit harsh after in the reactions with Egal, because I'm looking at things like, why is my right back on the left? But at the same time, I can say, look, I can forgive you for that, for the performance that you did put on the right. But he does need to work on his positioning. Dude, you're a right back. Hold it, yeah? Know yourself. William Saliba. My man of the match. I think William Saliba, for me, would have been a 9.5 all day in that game. A 9.5 all day. Wonderful to watch a young player come in, prove himself on the pitch, go out there and put in a performance like he did. It was professional. It was beyond his years. I couldn't ask more for William Saliba. Gabriel Magalhaes, he's going to be a 7. Wasn't his best game. Would have been on par with Ben White. He did make 1 or 2 mistakes. At one stage, there was almost a handball call in the box. Was it? Wasn't it? I don't know. I think we kind of got away with that. I really do. But nevertheless, I think a 7 out of 10 for him. Zinchenko on the left. Well, we're talking about more. I think it was more in the midfield. But anyway, on the left. In this game, going forward, great. The assist, the whole lot. I'll give Zinchenko a 7.5. I will give Zinchenko a 7.5 for his because he got himself an assist. He did get caught out in the end, but I think fatigue didn't help him. Granit Xhaka in midfield picked up a yellow for diving. Were a few occasions where he slowed the game down. I'm going to have to give Granit Xhaka a 6. I'm not going to give him any higher than that. I look at the game. I think to myself, you could have been better. You could have been better in this game. You could have taken an opportunity. You could have had a punt. A 6. I'm sorry I'm being harsh, but it is what it is. That's my opinion. If you don't like it, comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your rating is going to be. Thomas Partey. I know he's got problems in his personal life, but in this game, I think Thomas Partey was a fucking beast. In this game, I think Thomas Partey was probably, You know, like he was playing out of his skin. He was playing a great game, and in my opinion, he would be anywhere between an 8.5. He'd probably be an 8.5 in this game, 8 to 8.5. If it wasn't for him, Crystal Palace would have fucking destroyed us. Seriously, they would have gone through our midfield like it was nothing. So Thomas Partey in this game, I'm going to give him an 8.5. Fair. Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka in this game did not have his best game. He didn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. He did help out Ben White defensively. His defensive duties, yes, he was on point. Moving forward, didn't offer much. He really didn't offer much. Now, is that because of an overlapping issue that Ben White wasn't doing because he isn't a right wing back? Nevertheless, he didn't really offer too much. I think Bukayo Saka in this game is probably going to get himself a 7. And the only reason he'll get a 7 is because it was his shot that deflected that went into the goal. It wasn't his goal, but he did kill off the game inadvertently. You know what I mean? That's all you can give him. Martin Odegaard in this game. Yeah. Martin Odegaard in this game is... Yeah. Martin Odegaard in this game, I'm going to have to give him an on par. I think Xhaka's going to... You know what? Martin Odegaard and Granit Xhaka in this game, right? Martin Odegaard and Xhaka in this game, I changed my mind. Xhaka's going to get a fucking 5.5. Martin Odegaard's going to get a 5.5. They're not going to get 6s. They're going to get 5.5 both for their performances. Non-existent. Opportunity to take a shot on goal. Doesn't take it. His free kicks were... He had one free kick that was whatever. Apart from that, we didn't see him. Yes, I know Crystal Palace did a job on him, but at the same time, you got to do better when you get your opportunities. You know what I'm saying? You could be missing for fucking 70 minutes because the midfield have got you fucking down packed. But when you get an opportunity, you got to take your shot. Plain and simple. Granit Xhaka, same thing. These two guys, unfortunately, this game wasn't the best. But moving on. Martinelli in this game worked his fucking socks off. Got himself a goal, was a bit of a pest. Could have got himself a second, but we can't go there. I'm gonna give Martinelli an 8.5 on par with Thomas Partey for his goal. Gabriel Jesus worked his socks off in this game. Could have had himself a goal, but of course, block, deflection. He had an opportunity that he gave to Odegaard. He played out of his skin, but of course, didn't get himself a goal. The most I can give Gabriel Jesus from this game would probably be a 7.5. I couldn't give him more than a 7.5 in this game. And that's just calling a spade a spade. He didn't get himself a goal. He was a pest, but an 8 out of 10 performance, it wasn't, right? Eddie Nketiah, for the time that he was on the pitch, I'm going to give him a 6. Of course, he comes onto the pitch, yada, yada, yada. Saka scores himself a goal. Got to give him a 6. Kieran Tierney, I'm going to have to give him a 6 as well. Can't give him any higher than a 6. Wasn't on there for long enough. And Mikel Arteta in this game. I'm going to have to give Mikel Arteta... I'm going to give Mikel Arteta a 7.5 out of 10. The game management wasn't too bad. The substitutions could have come a little bit earlier, but that's his call. We got ourselves 3 points. We've started off our campaign in a positive manner. We've got Leicester coming up, right, guys? We got to take the opportunities that we can to beat the lesser teams. 3 points at Selhurst Park. I'll take that. A clean sheet. I'll take that. Onward and upward over to Leicester. No fucking about. You know what I mean? And hopefully we can get ourselves 3 more. Again, guys, hopefully we get ourselves a centre midfielder as well. I really do believe that that number 8 role needs to be filled. But I'm not going there. I'm not going to go there again. Fuck that shit. This, that, all that. Fuck that. Let's just be happy with the 3 points. We're on the top half of the table to start the season. You know what I mean? There are some better teams that shouldn't be where they are, but it is what it is, right? From the Aussie Gooner to everyone out there that's checked out this vid, I know it's late. My apologies, but I'm doing the best I can with what I got, when I got, how I got. You know what I mean? Yeah? If you can like, share, and subscribe, it'll be great. And look, I'll catch you on the fucking next one. And it's Uru, guys. Fucking Uru.